There's a word in our language, Mayakala, equating to respect. Respect for each other and respect for the natural environment that we're guests in. And we encourage everyone to conduct themselves with that principle. You will find that when you do so, there will be a deeper connection and experience while you're visiting our territory.
There are tons of people living on the coast and occupying it, tens upon tens upon tens of thousands in this little area in North Vancouver Highland, right? So we're not talking about small populations. There's deep antiquity going back 10, 12, 14,000 years in this area and probably further. The type of archaeological sites visitors might encounter in the territories would be largely village sites, a variety of procurement sites where people are going to get resources. It can be clam gardens, fish traps, fish weirs. There's also rock shelters. These are places where people may be painting or putting art to mark the territories in the area. There's also burial sites with cultivated meadows, small hunting sites that may leave behind stone tools.
This site could be anywhere on the coast. It's your typical coastal site. There was probably 30,000 people around here at the time that this was being used. And you can see the cultural sites, the clam gardens, they're still here, and it says, yeah, these people were here. The cultural materials were built up as people lived here. So this one's 11,000 years old. They would put in the midden sites, bones, stuff they ate, burials, they were gardens, ribozones. They also used them as foundation to build their homes. They also took so much of the shell and the gravel and mixed it back into the clam gardens to make them more viable for clams, for better harvesting. So they're pretty interesting. Like, they weren't just a garbage dump.
When you look at a First Nations territory, you realize that it's not just about archaeological sites. Every single thing on the landscape was managed by First Nations people. That includes all of the plants, it's all of the animals, the trees, the structure of the beaches and the shorelines, and even up into the forests.
Archaeological sites can tell us a lot about the relationship between people and the environment, help us understand how past humans dealt with pressure on local resources. Archaeology is a great place to look at the effects of climate on human populations and how they dealt with it in the past, as we're currently dealing with now as a global population.
When we go to the sites within our territory, we always feel very connected to that site. And I mean, you can kind of feel the history there of, our ancestors harvesting clams or harvesting cedar bark or planks for housing or, clothing. You feel it at every site you go to.
How I feel when I'm in my own territory is magical. We are deeply connected to the places and the things that our ancestors touched over thousands of years.
When we're out there, I feel at home. I feel as if the ancestors are wrapping around us to say, this is your place in the world.
This site is very important to the Clowetsies. We know that we lived here for hundreds and hundreds of years. We can probably say thousands. I bring people to these sites so that I can tune their eyes to what they're seeing. This is a prime example of what happens when ancient logging has taken place. This site was once a village site, but now it's just remnants of midden and, of course, of all the forestry debris that's left behind. It is heartbreaking to see this time and time again. We can't bring them back. It's devastating.
The loss of an archaeological site has significant impact. Those sites have essentially our history embedded in there, what our stories are. When those are damaged, we never get that opportunity to read that book again.
If you were to lose that feeling, once it's gone, right? You can't, hey, ancestors, come back and redo this for us. So yeah, that's a feeling you can't get back.
When people come to our territories, ask questions, learn. Also, just observe. I would not go to someone else's country or some established art site and start taking bits and pieces of it and spray painting it saying we were here. We are in awe of their culture and their past. When people come to visit our backyard, we expect the same sort of respect.
Being respectful to the site would mean leaving it exactly how you found it, no littering, take everything that you bring with you out with you. If someone were to come and camp in your backyard, you wouldn't want them to leave a bunch of garbage or leave remnants of food or disturb any type of soil or whatever you have going on in your backyard.
We have had issues with people visiting burial sites where they would come in and take photos and actually post it on their social media, which we're strongly against. You know, these are dead ancestors and we really don't want that on Facebook or Instagram. And we do also ask that some of the important areas like the old village site or a petroglyph, if you are visiting that, please don't post the location.
Just try and be mindful of all the cool features that are out here and just everywhere, honestly. Just be mindful of the land. Everyone likes to enjoy beautiful places, so let's keep it beautiful.
There are a range of best practices. Digging is generally a significant disturbance to the ground or beach. Carrying some sort of portable toilet system is strongly encouraged. If you are going to have a campfire, making sure you're doing that at a low tide or a subtidal location. If you do gather wood, we avoid gathering wood from the forest itself and certainly not cutting anything from any live trees. Consider the archaeological significance of a shell beach and how you're going to carry your kayak rather than drag it. Those are all steps that we take as campers and paddlers to minimize the impact that we actually have on any of those areas that we actually travel through.
The best practice is to treat the whole landscape that you're in as a cultural site. Go into a place, leave it as you found it, be respectful, treat it like places that you enjoy in your own backyard.
Collectively, if we begin protecting these special places, we will begin to make a difference that will help future generations be able to see these special sites, enjoy the lushness of our environment.
And I think that it's nice to see people out here using the land, like we're all in this together. So if we all honor it the same way, I think it'll be the same for a long time to come.
I want to say and be very clear that we welcome visitors to our territory. We encourage tourism, and it's truly part of that reconciliation journey that we're all in together. In the end of the day, we're all citizens of this planet, and the more we can arrive at common understandings, maintaining and bringing back more of that resiliency that our territory offered for millennia. We look forward to being good hosts in our territories. Nanwakolas.